Join us for a captivating new series where Lawin sits down with the trailblazers of the music and entertainment world. Discover the stories behind the faces and voices that shape our culture and community.
We will bring you exclusive interviews with industry legends and rising stars. Behind the scenes insights and get a peek into the creative processes and personal journeys. Artists and performers and their upcoming shows and events.
Stay tuned for more updates and sneak peeks. Follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel.
Be bold. Why not? Season 3. Make your mark, lead with pride.
Arm yourself with courage. Stand out and rise above.
Be the leader that you can be.
Lead others with passion.
Join us as we chat with MJ. Be part of the conversation. Every Monday at 7 p.m. Central. Tuesday, 8 a.m. Philippines.
Ready for some real talk? Pink Table Talk is all about empowerment, entrepreneurship, and the vibrant stories that make the world go round. Don't miss out on the gems shared in this heart-to-heart session with Dr. 𝗕𝗿𝓀𝓷. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Attention, food lovers! Get ready for a brand new culinary adventure with the Commissary Kitchen.
Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time, or 9 a.m. in the Philippines, for a live show that brings the best of the kitchen straight to your screen.
Presented by Lawin Live Stream and Podcast and produced by Lawin Media Network, we'll explore delicious recipes, share expert cooking tips, and bring you closer to the world of gourmet cuisine. The Commissary Kitchen, where every meal is an experience. See you there. Tune in to Legal Treats with attorney 𝗕𝗿𝓲𝓷 every Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time.
Get your weekly dose of legal insights about laws and legal matters, especially on divorce, estate planning, probate, and settling a deceased estate.
Engage in discussions by posting your questions, comments, greetings, or shoutouts.
See you every Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. That would be Saturday at 9 a.m. Philippines. Don't miss out.
In a world cluttered with information, where truth is power, Lawin Weekly News stands apart.
We delve deeper, uncover facts, and bring stories to light. From political showdowns and economic triumphs to the pulse of the street and the heart of the community.
We capture the moments that define us, stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Are you ready for engaging conversations on education, teaching strategies, trends in the classroom?
Tune in to Teacher Talk, Live 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗲 with your hosts, Teacher 𝗕𝓂𝓲 and Dr. Claire.
In each episode, we'll dive into meaningful discussions, share insights, and connect with fellow educators.
Don't miss out on the fun and camaraderie. Grab your coffee and join us for some lively 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗲. Every Saturday, 9 a.m. Central Time, 10 p.m. Philippines.
Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community, from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
The following program is produced by Lawin Media Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Lawin Media Network, its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. The content provided in this program is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Lawin Media Network does not guarantee the accuracy, completeness, or timeliness of the information. All intellectual property rights related to this program, including but not limited to copyrights, trademarks, and other proprietary rights, are the property of Lawin Media Network or their respective owners. Unauthorized reproduction, distribution, or use of any content from this program is prohibited.
Hello. A very delicious morning, evening to all of you from the kitchen, from the Commissary kitchen, and I'm the Adobo Queen, Nancy Reyes Lumen. Of course, I'm self-proclaimed. And today we're going to this is the second episode of our season 1, and we're going to do the Basta barbecue. Barbecue is the essence in Filipino cuisine. All over the country, people know how to cook outdoors and enjoy it and get together. It's a source of working together, teamwork. At the same time, it's called pamatid gutom. And you'll know all about this as we go through the video. So give me your comments, your feedback, reactions, and be very, very candid with me because I like to hear from you. So enjoy the video. We'll see you later. Good evening, kababayan, kaibigan, kapitbahay, kaluto, ka-foodies. Here we are again in Commissary Kitchen at your service. I am Nancy Reyes Lumen, your host, and today, letter B, because it's the second episode, we will be talking about barbecue. Basta barbecue. That is very, very Filipino, Pinoy. And Phil-ams like us now are also into the taste of what barbecue is. But we always say it's not Western barbecue, it's not Texan barbecue, it's actually Asian style barbecue. So we will go through all the marinades and then all the different kinds of ingredients and how to barbecue on coal and also on the stovetop. These are the ingredients we will be using. The similarity of barbecue with Western and Asian is that there are really so many ingredients. But definitely, there will have to be sugar and a kind of soy sauce or Worcestershire sauce. But let's go through the motions of most common ingredients used in our Asian barbecue. Of course, very unique to the Filipino kind of barbecue is the calamansi syrup. It's already a shortcut from calamansi juice and the syrup, and that's already sweet. Of course, we have the soy sauce and sometimes vinegar. And to thicken it, we have, and to add color and to add the banana flavor, we have the banana sauce. Many times, Filipino barbecue would also use a different kind of soft drinks or an cola. And the usual ingredients, we have the salt, the chili flakes, we have our pepper mill, and this is my mushroom seasoning. I'm also going to try and use a tomato cube and a chicken cube, and of course, you cannot go do barbecue without garlic. Plus, if you don't like to slice your garlic, then you can always use your garlic powder. Many times, especially here, we can opt for either lemon or lime. And those who like it to be spicy, you have your green chilies. What we will do today, we will do pork, slab of pork. We will do a chicken that I already splash cooked, meaning I cut it at the back to look like this, okay, like a 𝗕𝗀𝓲𝓷 chicken. We will also do tapa using our beef. We will also do this. Look at this, it's a big salmon head which we will barbecue. And just to show you that vegetables can also be barbecued, and it brings out more of the natural sugars in the vegetables. So from now on, you can also try to inculcate vegetables into your barbecue. We will start with pork, which is the most popular kind of meat that we like to barbecue. And they say a layered kind of pork belly is good. Sometimes people would say it would be the best if there were 5 layers to the pork belly. Like, well, I trimmed out some of the fat here. Fat, then lean, then fat, then lean, then fat again. Okay? Just to speed up the cooking of barbecue, it is better to not get such a thick cut. And also, to help shorten the time of barbecuing. So we have to help it by making the marinade easy to reach into the meat. So we just cut it that way, and again here, the same for this side, but do not cut through the meat, okay? Just on the pork. For this, we will use, everybody uses a wet marinade. But for this one, let's try a dry marinade. There are different kinds of marinades that we will do today. We have the wet marinade, we will do a dry marinade, we will do one that's in the packet already, ready to use dry marinade. We will even do one that is a tapa marinade. Alright? For this one, this is in my adobo book. I invented a different kind of dry marinade consisting of chicken powder, which I'm going to crumble, some sugar, pepper, and a little salt. Just a little bit, put it here for easier crumbling. Crumble, crumble, crumble. We crumble things for our barbecue. Okay, so there's going to be a mix of umami, sweetness. I want a little more sweetness. Why? Because you know, sugar not only sweetens, but it also adds the color when you barbecue it. Although, you have to be very careful in applying sugar. At saka, sometimes you make a mistake of using honey just by itself. No, honey burns very, very fast. Alright. So we start with adding our dry marinade. All over. This also creates a crust. You know, when you slice it, you let the juices go, you let the marinade get into the meat. So there will be a crust for this. Another meat that we would be ideally good for barbecuing is chicken, but this time, you know, using Cornish hen. And all you do is, once the chicken is whole like that, you just cut through it, and then you split it, and be sure to push down the breast so that it will flatten easily some more like that. Just to make sure that everything will be exposed here and inside and out with the marinade. We will be doing a wet marinade for this, which is the typical Filipino style barbecue. The secret to the marinade we will be doing will be very all equal portions of soy sauce. I'm going to use our calamansi syrup, which I love so much. It's already sweet by itself. And all equal portions, a little more sugar. Again, for browning effect and for color. Most times, the secret to a good barbecue is you have to add as much sugar as you do your soy sauce to counter the sweet and the salty. But it depends on you if you're scared of too much sugar. So we'll also put our favorite banana, ketchup. This is our favorite barbecue ingredient. This is so Pinoy. Non-Filipinos see this and then they say, what? Banana made into ketchup? Yes. And I said, it's colored by annatto oil. Of course, we will not be without our garlic. I'd also like to add some heat with our chili flakes, pepper, and just for this time, I would like to add paprika. So, normally I would just pour. And by the way, this is a good tip. If you're ever buying these kinds of meat, don't throw this. This can be recycled. This is a perfect marinating platter because it already has all this. This is really for marination. So don't throw it. Use it. So here we are. When you ask about how long should we marinate, the thicker the meat, the longer you should marinate. For our next barbecue, let's do tapa. I have here tapa cuts and I'm going to really immerse them in the marinade. I have a very simple but really good and effective tapa marinade I learned from my mom. And she said, when you're putting marinade on your beef, do not drown the beef. Okay? So, she said, there should not be any liquid that will be seen after you have put in the marinade. Alright? So, that means that for this amount, which is about a pound, we will only be using 1 teaspoon of equal teaspoons of soy sauce, vinegar, and patis. One of the most favorite kinds of tapa in Manila, I remember, is that of Aling Nene in the San Andres market. And it tastes like this. So, I'm massaging the marinade into the meat. I can smell it so good. You see, the smell, the beef still smells like beef, and there's no marinade. Okay, don't worry about that because the beef will absorb this and create its own juice when you cook it. When you get hold of a salmon that's this big, look at the head. Okay, I know that everybody would say, "Oy, gawin na, make it into sinigang," but we can change it. You can try. I tried something like this in a Japanese restaurant where they cooked it a la teriyaki. I'm going to use a dry marinade. And one of the best dry marinades I've discovered is Mamacita's barbecue marinade. Here, I think it's good to be generous with this marinade. So we sprinkle that, and in all the corners and the crevices of the salmon, let that marinate. We will add oil in all these later. We will do this again in our cold barbecue. One additional feature that I'd like to teach And I would like to thank my friend 𝓕𝗃𝗁𝗲 for teaching me all about wok-hei. But wok-hei has to do with cooking in the wok or high fire. But she also taught me na when you cook vegetables or when you barbecue vegetables, the sweetness of the vegetables comes out. And I would like to encourage you also, once in a while, sayang naman kung merong, if there's extra coal and you still have some veggies that you want to use, you can experiment on using vegetables and make it into barbecue. Especially for those our friends who are vegetarian. Okay, just a simple whisk of tocino powder. You can also do this with your seafood. And then later we will learn how to sear. This is, would you believe this is lettuce that you can barbecue? You can use romaine. I just happen to have lettuce, so I'm going to try it now. Even here with the dayak or lime, we will do this also in our barbecue pit. So far, we have shown you the different marinades. Minsan medyo, I tend to use the wrong terms. Still getting used to speaking in full American English, but sometimes the Tagalog mixing it to what I want to say. The marinade, the dry marinades I used, the one I started with the pork. Actually, it's even better if you use the powdered chicken powder. Chicken powder. I had to crumble the chicken cube, and it was kind of rough. So it's even better if you have just chicken powder, mix it with a little sugar, mix it with a little pepper, and then you have a very simple but malinamnam dry marinade. You can use that on the fat of the pork, and it's okay if the pork will turn dark, but you can always cut it like it can be like a crust, right? I welcome any additional info you can share about your own marinade. I'm sure that the packet marinades like Mamacitas are a big help already, because sometimes you just get the packet, cut it, open, and use it, especially when there are seafoods. It's so good. Have a banana leaf and put the seafood there, and put in your barbecue marinade, your powders, and then turn it again and do the other side, and then cover it first with banana leaves, and then after, when you see that when you pierce the fish, and you know that the tip is warm, then it's already cooked inside. So what you do is just brown it a little on the coals or in your stovetop, and you have a very nice looking inihaw na fish. Welcome to any chats that are coming up. Let me know. I'm going to check if you have any. I love pork and chicken barbecue. What are the key differences in flavor and texture when using dry and wet marinades for barbecue? Good question. And how do you decide which method to use for different types of meat? Actually, I cannot distinguish between wet and dry. It depends really on the thickness of the meat and what you want to do with it. If you want to grill it or broil it on the stovetop or in your or on your barbecue pit. Sometimes it's safer to use the dry marinade, like what they do in Texan barbecue. But of course, the Filipino way is always to use the wet marinade and then keep it marinated overnight. What's important is when you're doing the wet marinade, be sure to pat dry the meat before you put it on the grill. Sometimes we think na pag wow, ang dami-dami nitong marinade, sige lalagay ko na dun sa parilya. No, it's going to take a little longer for it to cook. What you do is, maybe you see it later when we do the grill, you can just baste it with a little of the marinade, baste it back and forth only after 5 to 10 minutes that it has been on the heat. Flavor, Asian barbecue is cannot be without any sugar or syrup. So it has to that is what turns it into caramel, and caramel turns into umami. So it basically would be soy sauce and sugar that will both turn into caramel and make it really smelling aromatic, at the same time also delicious. Plus the complement of the citrus. So you have, of course, I wish I had calamansi all the time, but I don't. So it would be lemon, or this time I used lime. So I hope you got the right answer. Oh, for the different types of meat, for seafood, I would suggest really dry marinade, because seafood is very delicate. So if it was too wet, it might take a little longer for you to cook it, and you might forget to turn it. Okay. For meats, the heavier the meats, mas okay na you can use wet marinade. And also, if you want that the meats will cook that will cook at the same time, you have to slice them into uniform thickness. More chats I'm welcoming, and we will now go into the second part, wherein we did, thank you very much also, wherein we did the grilling. And dito, I'll preview na. I have a lot of medyo sunog. Because doing the coals is not really easy. It's a man's job, which I'm trying to learn. So, making the coal very hot, or the height, I still have to master that. All right, let's go back to our video. And I hope you're still enjoying, and I hope you're still with me. All right?
In a world filled with fleeting moments, there's beauty waiting to be captured. My name is Christian, and I specialize in immortalizing your most precious memories, from elegant weddings to vibrant events and timeless portraits. I'm here to make every moment unforgettable. Let me tell your story through the lens. Contact me today, and let's create magic together.
In a world cluttered with information, where truth is power, Lawin Weekly News stands apart.
We delve deeper, uncover facts, and bring stories to light. From political showdowns and economic triumphs to the pulse of the street and the heart of the community.
We capture the moments that define us, stories that challenge, inspire, and transform.
Tune in live Sundays 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and Sundays 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Let's start with the ones that will cook longest, and that's our chicken. There are two zones, the hot zone and the cold zone. I'll start with the hot zone. Put in the chicken, and later I can transfer it to the cold zone. Do not baste the chicken until after about 5 minutes. And this one, it's the head of the salmon. It cooks very quickly, so we have to watch out for that because it might crumble if it cooks too much, too fast. So we have to put it a little near in the middle of the hot and the cold zone, and then later transfer it there. We're back to our pork. Actually, I should have really just started the pork here, right? And then each one will cook in its own temperature and time, so we just have to be watching out for each of them. That's why it's fun to have barbecue na Filipino style. The whole family, there, it's flaring already. The whole family is the one that helps. Do not move the salmon head until you can easily, shake it like that out of the grill, okay? Huwag kukulitin. Ako mahilig mangkulit. Alright, so whenever you see a flare, then make sure that move it first here, and then it's important for you to have this. Okay. Now I'm going to test if I can move the salmon head, and I can already. So this is the tricky part when the meat side will be facing the cold. So I have to be very careful in that. Especially look what happened to my chicken. It was too hot. So I'm moving it to a cooler area, but still not yet in the zone. This one is also, once you see it like that, move it now to the cold zone. Our salmon head is already done because we don't want to overcook it, but see how beautiful it is there. So we put it now in our... Yan! It's a good thing that I thought of tying it up so that it won't break apart. You're watching this live, I mean real time. There's nothing, there's no magic being done. So what you see is what's happening, and we can learn from this. I put it too fast on the grill. The grill is too hot. The grill should be maybe only about 350. With the pork, we can easily take out the skin. It's just a small short layer like that, okay? But sometimes you see barbecue like this, pork barbecue like this in Western barbecues, right? The smokiness is fantastic. Okay, into the cold zone. Everything now is in the cold zone. I'm going to make another pambugaw ng langaw. I thought, when I went here, I thought there won't be any langaw. Yung pala, there is langaw, and also, the mosquitoes are bigger in Texas. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is going to be our pambugaw here. Bugaw, bugaw, bugaw. Alright? Chicken has to cook at 165. I'm going to the deepest part. It's only 130, 140, so maybe another 5-10 minutes. Oh, this one pork would be 145. Pork is done. 145. Okay, bugaw na langaw. Our eggplant, we have to make it wilted. Now, sometimes if you want to leave your cooking, you can just keep it open. Leave it open, right? It has to be open. And always check that it would be best at 350. There's a thermometer here. Okay. Another option, if you have already griddled your tapa and you rested it, you can just brown it some more here over coal, so that it not to cook it but just to give it the smoky flavor. Let me taste it. I can still taste the beefiness. Good. Parang the tapa, we gave it a three times of being cooked. But that's good. Tapa becomes more umami as you cook it. And just remember the three ingredients there, and the most important technique is not to drown it in the marinade. Christian, wow. We invited Christian here kasi siya yung taga-bugaw kanina ng mga langaw. And these are our barbecues. We talked about the marinades and wet and dry. And of course, I must admit, I had this was too thick for my griddle. That's why I decided to do it here. But this got burned already. But you know, in some Western barbecues, the crust is really made to blacken. So, except tayo mga Filipino, we like to eat the fat. So we have our the ulo of the salmon ulo. There we go. Yes. And then we have our Cornish hen. Again, my fire was too hot that I put it right there. I should have put it first in the medium zone. Here, I just wanted to show you that lettuce tastes sweeter when it's barbecued. Of course, I'll say it's sweeter, but it really is. Then tapa, we smoked it with barbecue grill, and it browned some more. So here we are. Here is our lime, and maybe before we close, I would like to share a life value that grilling was probably the most primitive way of cooking then, when man discovered fire. God gave that ability to create fire, and from then on, meat that was raw got cooked and became more edible. What I find really interesting, the Filipino tradition of having barbecue, is sharing food and also enjoying a meal like this, very simple, okay, and helping each other. You know, pagdating ng 4 o'clock in the Philippines, you see already in the bangketa, dala na nila yung electric fan na maliit, and then upuan, and then their parilla, and what they will cook, iba-iba, di ba? May Adidas, merong ulo, merong paa, merong isaw, meron ding barbecue, lahat sari-sari. And people at 4 o'clock, that's between leaving the office and going to commute, going home. So that becomes like the middle meal, pangtawid gutom, sabi nila. And that's why barbecue is very popular in our country. And some say it's a primitive way of cooking, but it's a very delicious way of cooking. Just like here in Texas, we know about the brisket that's cooked differently, but also just as marvelously. So here is our episode on barbecuing with different kinds of marinades. And I hope you did not learn to burn it like what I did, but that you learned the marinades and the way, the zone of cooking, the hot zone and the cold zone. This is Nancy Reyes Lumen, thanking you here in Commissary Kitchen, and thanking Christian Toledo, who will now be the victim of eating all this.
I know, we've been talking so much, I just want to eat.
Do you remember anything about your barbecue experience in Manila?
Yeah, I mean, we came from the same university. There's like popular isaw places
Yeah.
in UP, so that's nice. And yeah, no, also like other street food, because like you're tired, like you're right, like you're tired from like all day of working, and then you still have to commute home,
Yeah,
which for me is like 1 hour.
Yun.
So like, you need the energy for that too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Kaya, di
Barbecue
ba,
is-
kailangan meron kang dalang pagkain. So this is what, this is a spread of a very popular way of cooking, which is Basta Barbecue, here at Commissary Kitchen. Thank you very much. God is good. So you saw how we cooked the chicken and the pork. But if you really do want to try your hand at doing your own cold, especially mga women, then I suggest you really go first for the dry marinade. And this is a good guide. This is a Beyond Barbecue, Mamacita's barbecue marinade, and I use the powdered one, so it's very good. So try it out. We will not be complete here in Commissary Kitchen without showing you some kitchen hacks, and we have the perfect person to do that. She is an accomplished home chef, Tess Tuazon, who will be part of Commissary Kitchen in trying to test recipes, but at the same time giving us nuggets of practical things to learn in the kitchen, from cleaning, cleaning up in the kitchen, or slicing, because she's a very, she's an expert in knife skills. And in other things like how to clean up fish or how to trim vegetables. Well, anyway, this will be an important part of Commissary Kitchen. And now we can already enjoy and watch Test Taste with her expert hacks. Most often, knives and cutting, butchering are associated with men. But here we have, in Tess Taste, in her own segment, she will be showing us knife skills. Why? Because that's what Tess is so admired for, her skills in knives. Oh, okay. Yeah. So let's welcome Tess.
Hello,
Tuazon
everybody.
In her segment Tess Taste. She'll be part of Commissary Kitchen. Take it away.
The first thing you have to do, make sure your knives are sharp. The most dangerous utensil in the kitchen is a very dull knife, because it takes a lot of effort to just cut an onion. So with a shallot, when it's sharp, all you have to do is get on with it. And another hack that I'll show you is put a damp towel underneath so your chopping board doesn't run around as you do your chopping. You guide your knife with your knuckles. So all your fingers, no, don't extend them like that because the knife will surely love to cut those off.
And holding
So,
the knife.
Hold it like this comfortably and guide the piece of vegetable that you're going to slice with your knuckle. So the knife touches the knuckle but not your fingernails. So, that way. And I can slice and dice without looking because my knuckles are guiding my peppers.
You can do that, yes. She's just an acrobat, so you know.
And same with a tomato. Please remove the pit when you slice a tomato. You don't want to look at an eye when you're eating a tomato.
Okay.
Remember, guide it with your knuckles. But once in a while, accidents happen, so just put a band-aid on it.
Do you peel that with the peeler or you slice and peel?
And please don't use a knife to cut a fruit after cutting your garlic or your onions.
Yeah.
You don't want a garlic flavored mango. So I have a paring knife.
Uh-huh.
So
You'll also teach us how to sharpen a knife.
I do it the old-fashioned way. I use the stone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like therapeutic when I'm doing it.
Okay.
So,
Any particular knife that you would like to recommend within an affordable
I will
medium
not
range
recommend
budget?
any brand. These are my knives with my name on them.
Okay.
But it has to be comfortable. The weight has to be comfortable when you handle them.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the knife is bigger than you,
It's a samurai.
you're going to kill yourself. You're going to cut yourself eventually.
Okay.
So a chef's knife this is my everyday chef knife.
Yeah, I think most households would have that kind and a paring knife. So if you're a starter, then those are the two kinds of knives that you will be sharing. Yeah.
And when you're dealing with meat, you need a cleaver, or when you're filleting fish, you need a special knife for that too. Hiya! We're ready. This you can use too for chopping up your scallions, and just make sure they're very sharp.
That's it. Invite them to the segment of your show, Taste Test, and eventually, I'm sure it will be developed into her own cooking show.
Yep, it's coming up. That would be
Every
Taste
Thursday, 8 p.m. here in Houston, and 9 a.m. that's in the
Test. Taste test.
Okay,
With
TT.
Tess T.
Just TT.
With
Tess
Tess T.
Tuazon.
That's it.
So there you have it. That was Basta Barbecue with a very inimitable Miss Tess Tuazon in her own little segment on Test Taste with lots of kitchen hacks. You'll see more of her very practical advice. And next time, please join us again for letter C, and this will be cocido. So I'd like to hear from you, and please give your comments. We respect everything and suggestions that you would suggest. Plus, actually, we call it Commissary Kitchen because we want you to send us your recipes that you want us to try for you and to share it with others. So if you have stories, if you have recipes that you would like to share, or you want us to see how we can innovate on it, please, the kitchen is open for you. Thank you very much again for your interest in Commissary Kitchen. We're very candid here. We welcome all things, and I'm not perfect. So all the mistakes that you will see will happen, and I to feel that everything here is easy and chill and fun, and having that kind of camaraderie with you. All right. So God bless you, and thank you very much for having us here in Lawin Media Network. This network has more than 15 international podcasts associated with it, and so many um, thousands of viewers that are already growing. The population is growing here in Lawin because Lawin has so many um, topics that are covered that will not just interest Filipinos or Phil-Americans, but globally. I want to reach out also to the OFWs that if you were listening now, please, we want to reach out to you so that you can share with us what you have there in your post, where you're posted. Tell us how it is, what food it is like. How do you do your adobo? How do you do your barbecue? Before I end, I wanted to say when one time with Mama Sita, my auntie, the Mama Sita, we traveled to London, and we visited some of the former employees of 𝓕𝓸𝓲𝓷. And lo and behold, they had a big get together for us in their home. And when they pulled out something from the oven, it was one whole head of pork that became lechon. And that was what, 1977? That was the prelude to the sisig. That when, because we kukunin mo yung cheeks nung nung head and also the ears, and chopped it, and it became sisig several years after. So there's no age limit to good food and good stories. After you've eaten a dish, you still have the story. So please share your stories with us. This is again Nancy Reyes Lumen. Thanking you very much for being here with us in the Commissary Kitchen. See you again next Thursday, 8 p.m. Bye!